guys, in this video we're going to talk about how I successfully manifested love in just a few months using law of attraction. First of all, welcome to the Chic Life, where we talk about how to harness the power of your thoughts so you can manifest your dream life. So I've already shared a couple success stories about how I manifested my luxury apartment and how I manifested healing from a back injury, but this is a pretty big one that you guys have been asking for, so I really wanted to film this one for you as well. Just for a little backstory, in late 2017 and early 2018, I was going through the tail end of my divorce, and so after doing a lot of self-work and healing, when I decided I was ready for a new relationship, I decided to use law of attraction to attract love to my life. And I was successful with it, thankfully, and managed to attract a committed relationship in just a few months. And I want to share how I did that and what law of attraction techniques I used that helped me manifest this relationship successfully. And if you're also a law of attraction, manifestation, and mindset enthusiast, I welcome you to join my free Facebook group. It's a private community for like-minded, high-vibe peeps, and I'd love to see you there. You can join using the link in the description box below. So the first thing that I think really helped me successfully manifest a relationship was my manifestation habits. I've made a video about that, and I'll link that so you can also check that out. But there are several habits I do, like practicing gratitude, meditating, etc., which help me raise my vibe. And when you have a higher vibe, you attract better outcomes. So I think because my vibe was pretty high from doing all these habits, it made me more easily attract a relationship to my life. The second thing that I was able to do really successfully, which was a challenge, it wasn't super easy, but luckily I was able to overcome it, is I prevented and overcame limiting beliefs. So at this time, I was going through a divorce, so I had a ton of limiting beliefs already on my own mindset, and then people were feeding me limiting beliefs left, right, and center. So people were telling me things like, it's going to be hard for you to date after a divorce, dating is difficult for divorced people, dating is difficult for people your age, because I was in my late 30s at the time. They were saying things like, dating in New York City is very hard, there are no good guys left in New York City, and I just kept hearing all these things that, to be honest, made me scared initially. I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be hard for me. There are no good guys in New York City. Dating in New York is difficult. And then, I've done a lot of work already with some of my other limiting beliefs, and so I thought some of these I can go ahead and prevent them before they even become a belief that I want to adopt. So most of the beliefs were ones that luckily I was able to kind of prevent from becoming a thought that I had ingrained in my system. So for example, for the limiting beliefs about, you're too old and it's going to be hard for you to date after divorce, I would just tell myself, you're young, you're a great catch, you have so much to offer a relationship. Regarding the limiting beliefs about dating in New York being difficult, I just reminded myself that really with limiting beliefs, anytime you choose to believe something, that's going to be your experience. So I was like, maybe this is their experience, maybe this is how they've chosen to look at this, but I'm going to choose a different belief system. I'm going to choose that dating in New York City is fun. There are so many great places to go on dates, and there are plenty of good guys left in this city. I mean, there are literally millions of people in New York City. So really, out of millions of people, there are no good guys left. This is kind of that thing, if you see my other videos, I like to kind of be playful about limiting beliefs and be like, really, not one single guy left? Just being kind of playful helps me overcome them more easily. But I really just honestly thought, seriously, in this city of all these people, there is surely at least a number of potential relationships that are going to work for me, and all I have to do is put myself out there and find them. So there's a lot more to working through limiting beliefs. If you're interested in working through limiting beliefs and overcoming manifestation blocks in general, I actually have a free training all about overcoming manifestation blocks. You can get instant access to that training using the link in the description box below. Sort of along those lines, I was hearing a lot of horror stories about people's dating experiences, and I was like, okay, these are things that I definitely don't want, but I also know with law of attraction, when you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get more of that. So I try to be really careful about always focusing on what I do want. I do want a kind guy. I do want a committed relationship. And along these lines, another manifestation technique that I did is I actually made a list of ideal qualities that I was looking for in a relationship. So I got this idea from a video by Alexandra. I will link that as well in the description box below, but this is a really useful video for me, and I used these tips as a big input to what I was doing in terms of manifesting my ideal relationship. So basically what you do is you make a list of all the characteristics you're looking for in your person and in your relationship. And for me, I chose to make this list very much based on how they made me feel, how my emotions were in the relationship, more how we like to spend our time together versus physical appearance. Now, I do think with law of attraction, you can ultimately manifest anything you want. So if you want someone who looks a certain way, you can certainly do that. But I decided that it was more important to me that not that you can't have one or the other, but it just, I think, also helped me reduce resistance by sort of focusing in on attributes. So for me at this time, focusing on this is what really helped, but definitely you do you. But I just focused on, like how we like to spend our time together, that my parents liked him, and stuff like that. And I like to say that I Frankenstein my list because I took a list of things that I liked in my previous relationship, and then I also wrote opposites of things I didn't like from my previous relationship. I also took note of things that I liked in other people's relationships, not again as like a comparative thing, but just sort of, oh, I didn't think about that. For example, my sister's husband makes tea for her, and I thought that was really sweet, so I added that to my list. He makes tea for me. And yeah, I just had my list and I focused on the emotions and how I wanted this person to make me feel. And that was, I think, a big part of the success of me ultimately manifesting a relationship, because the relationship I managed to manifest actually matched this list, I think, 100%. So that's pretty cool, and this is definitely a powerful technique. So if you're wanting to manifest love, definitely make that list. And also feel free to check out Lior's video, which I'll link down below because she has some other tips in this video that were really helpful. Another thing I did is I actually made a themed vision board. So vision boards are super powerful. I actually have another video about how to make a digital vision board. So if you're at home right now and you don't have access to paper supplies, you can use that tutorial to make a digital vision board, which you can set as your desktop wallpaper or phone wallpaper or use other templates. But I made a themed vision board all about the ideal relationship that I was trying to attract in my life, and I found pictures that signified what I was looking for in that relationship. For example, I found a picture of a couple dancing, and I really wanted to find a relationship with someone who wanted to dance with me, so I put that on there. And just any pictures that to me signified the relationship I was looking for, I put those all on my themed vision board, which I just made on like a little square scrapbook paper, and I put that on my bedroom door so I could look at it frequently and get into the energy of having this ideal relationship that I ultimately wanted to attract. Another thing that really helped me is I really trusted the universe and let go. So I wasn't worried about it. It was really easy to slip into fear-based thinking, especially when people were still trying to feed me their limiting beliefs. But ultimately, I just really tried to reaffirm my trust in the universe that this relationship is happening, this guy's looking for me. There's a Rumi quote actually that says, "What you seek is seeking you." So I just imagined the same way that I was desiring a relationship of a certain type, someone out there was desiring a relationship with exactly what I had to offer. And basically I was kind of picturing we're both looking for each other in New York City. And I almost envisioned us like on the map, like moving closer and closer to each other. So ultimately I just trusted that this relationship was making its way to me. Now the next thing that I did was take aligned action. So as I was picturing us on the map moving closer and closer to each other, I also realized that if all I did was go to work and then come back to my apartment, the chances of me meeting my ideal person were going to be a little bit more difficult. Again, with the universe, anything is possible, so surely that person could come and knock on my door. Maybe they are friends with my neighbor and they accidentally knock on my door and that's how I meet them. I was open to that happening, but I also thought for me to take aligned action and put myself out there and, give the universe more opportunity to bring this person to my life. If I do online dating, that's one way that I can kind of get myself out there and just help facilitate the universe making this relationship happen. So taking aligned action, putting myself out there was another big thing that I think really helped. And like I said, with the aligned action, the big thing that I really did with that was put myself out there through online dating. Another thing I did is I just asked the universe for help. I said, universe, I don't want to waste my time with some guy who is just like looking to play around, because at that time I just wanted a serious relationship. And I was like, I want someone who also is interested in a committed relationship. So if anybody is not interested in that, then I want them to I don't want to waste my time on them. And so funny enough, I initiated a lot of conversations on Bumble and I had some back and forth, but I felt like a lot of the conversations were dropping off. So at first I was thinking, I was a little disappointed, like, okay, am I so uninteresting? They don't want to talk to me. But then I realized that's your scarcity mindset, your fear-based mindset coming to play, and that is not the way that you're gonna ultimately attract your ideal relationship. So I reaffirmed my trust in myself that I was a good catch, and I also said, you know what, this is actually, I think, the universe helping me out, because I bet a lot of these conversations with these people dropping off are people who aren't an ideal match, or maybe they're not looking for a serious relationship, and really the universe is just saving me time, so I don't have to invest a lot of my precious time into going back and forth with someone who is ultimately not going to be the right fit for me. So at the end of the day, when I had these dropped off conversations, I was just like, thank you, universe, for helping. And lastly, really ultimately used jealousy as well. And I've made a totally separate video about this as well, about how to use jealousy to manifest love. I actually found that initially when I would see happy couples, it was kind of giving me a negative vibe, and I realized that putting a negative vibe towards love was giving negative energy from me and my space out into the universe and was going to attract negative results back. So I decided to take that jealous energy, transform it into something positive, and ultimately use that to manifest my ideal relationship. So you can watch a whole separate video about that, but there's definitely a way you can convert that jealous energy into something really positive that really helps attract your ideal relationship to you. So I kept this pretty high level, but if you have any questions about anything I did, definitely drop some comments below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you want help manifesting, definitely get access to my free training using the link in the description box below. Or I also offer one-on-one coaching. Feel free to DM me and let's chat about how I can support you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!